So you're building this business, you're doing the coaching thing, and all these things are happening. So how have you kept balance in your life? Like, how have you managed working so much? Like, what do you do? Like, last week we had Walt Tomolinas talk about he does meditation.
Yeah.
That was one thing he came across in meditation. I know, you spend a lot of time with the family. You've poured, you built this house around the family, basically. Yeah. It's an amazing platform or property. You play guitar, you're constantly going on vacations, you've been able to maintain the balance and everything else. And how have you maintained that balance? And what does that look like over the last decade of your life? And what have you done to keep life fun and not burn out, not get bored?
So I mix it up a lot.
Yeah.
Right. I'm the guy that likes to go to bed at 9:30 or 10, and I'm up at 4.
Yeah.
And I start coaching at 5 in the morning because I have guys on the East Coast.
Wow.
And that's my normal day, right? And I work on the weekends, but I also spend a lot of time with my family because I work from home.
Yeah.
So when I shut it off, I'm down, we're having dinner, we're with the family, it's a family dinner, no phones, no electronics.
You've been doing that for how long?
Oh, for my entire, that's just the way it is. I
That's
I wrote a
awesome.
book called Dinner Conversations.
Yeah, it was great.
Which was just all about the funny stories that come up at dinner with my family, right? And so from a balance standpoint for me, I like to try different things.
Yeah.
Because all I did was laser focus on work.
Correct.
It's not the way I want to be.
Yeah.
And I want to try new things.
Yeah.
So I've written 7 books, none of which are necessarily worth reading. A couple of great kids books for young kids.
Yeah.
The Dinner Conversations book, a business book, a novel.
You wrote books. You have a dinner every night with the family.
Yes.
Do you guys go how do you fit in vacations with work?
I don't draw a distinction between a vacation and a work day. A lot of people would disagree with me, right? But it allows me to take a lot more vacations.
Yeah.
So I've got a cottage in Canada. I go up there. I'll work a couple hours in the morning. I'll get up before
You have a
everybody
cottage
else does.
in Canada?
Yeah.
And the whole family would go?
No, I take the kids. My wife. And then
Yeah.
I will, even when I was in, on my anniversary, my wife will sleep until 9 o'clock because she's on vacation. I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock and I'm going to do my work in the morning and I'm going to spend my time with her. Yeah. But that allows me to take a lot more time. Now, a lot of people would say don't do that. They want to unplug. They want to do it all that way. I'm going, I am happy.
You're doing a lot of stuff throughout the year. I was just watching your Facebook over the years. You've done a lot of family stuff. I'm like, does this guy even work? It almost you know what I mean? Because you're constantly on the boat with your friends, Mark, and you're traveling down to Cancun with the family or something, or
but I'm
wife,
working the entire time.
And you know what I mean? It's but you're working the entire time, and so you've been able to blend it beautifully. It's very masterful, is what I've seen.
I look at
the family, the wife, the connection, the travel, all of it.
One of my favorite things is I've taken every kid on a trip individually every year since they were 3 years old. And they get to pick where they, and I heard this at EO speaker 23 years ago, one of my first EO speakers ever. Right? Yeah. And he stood up there, I can't remember the company, but he said, look, I'm not here to talk to you about business today.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk to you about the one thing I think is the most important thing I did in my life with my kids, is every year I took those kids on a trip. They got to choose where they're gonna go anywhere in the world. They had to plan it and we would go do it. And one-on-one, me and my child.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's so impactful because as entrepreneurs, we're spending so much time working, they're running around, they're with their moms or with their dads if that's the way it works, and you're not as focused. But when you actually have to be the one in charge and the sole parent for 3 or 4 days and create conversations, you're not with anybody else, you're just you and that child. Correct. And you do that every year. Most impactful thing I've ever done with my kids.
So Mark said that. I was at a EO conference. Mark said that.
Yeah. And we both do it. Yeah.
Literally, I flew home, spent a week with my dad, or a few days, just to go hang out with him. And literally a few weeks after that, flew home, flew back, he had passed away. And I would never have had that opportunity that last week of actually getting some one-on-one time, drive around in the car, just hang out. He was sick, but if it wasn't for Mark telling me that, you know what I mean? And definitely one of the most impactful things. My brother even had I told Zach too, he was my dad was in North Carolina, go spend time with dad, drive him home. He was sick, by himself, and so my brother Zach even had time. And I was just even thinking, my mom texted me this morning actually, and she's like, I want to go to Egypt. And even just hearing you say that, I'm like, I'm gonna go with my mom to Egypt, just 2 of us. We've never done a trip ever together. And the last time I was home and hanging out with my mom a couple weeks ago, she's like, she only spent 3 times by herself ever with her father. Wow. 3, like one of those was getting ice cream, one of those was like a ride home from school or something, and one was like going to the store one time to buy her a dress or something one time. That was it. Yeah. Like that's all she can remember growing up. That's why spending the time with the kids is super invaluable. Like I can think of only a few times with my dad over a lifetime, like we were ever just him and I, you know what I mean? Or just, so this is huge. Like, and maybe you're not the parent, maybe you're the son or daughter. Man, I challenge you, get some one-on-one time with your parents, force them to go do something with you for a couple days. Force them to get out of what they're doing, to go, hey, we're just gonna go get a hotel room, we're gonna go see Chicago together, or whatever. Like, doesn't matter what it is. It's like Zach was super stoked that he got to spend that last time with my dad. I was super stoked that I got some one-on-one time with my dad. And even just hearing that story again, I'm like, I'm gonna go with my mom to Egypt. I just decided that just now, like, screw everybody else, anybody, just her and I, we'll go to Egypt to see the pyramids together. You know, because you never know when they're not gonna be around. And